Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Some few days ago, President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga met at State House, Nairobi, and the issue of Raila's running mate was discussed and some names agreed upon. It's alleged that Uhuru Kenyatta and his team preferred Peter Munya to deputize Raila Odinga, while Raila's team actually preferred Peter Kenneth. But after all had been said and done, Uhuru Kenyatta presented Raila Odinga two names, Kalonzo Musyoka and Martha Karua, and actually told Raila maybe to pick one of those candidates. And it's also alleged and believed that Raila Odinga settled on Martha Karua, and he made it very clear that if he was to pick a running mate from Ukambani, he would easily pick Charity Ngilu. Those are just rumors and allegations, and they might be true or not true. And that story has also been captured by Taifa Leo today. Taifa Leo, tiketi ya Raila Karua ya Bishop, and then on top there, yaibuka Uhuru Raila tayari wamekubaliana awe mwaniaji mwenza wa Azimio. If you go through that Taifa Leo story, it's just reporting that Uhuru and Raila Odinga most likely have agreed on Martha Karua as Raila's running mate. So in this video, I want us to dig deep to see exactly what that means politically and the political implications of that political move. In case you've bumped here for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you, God bless you. Yes, if at all that story is true, then I know Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, they have done their mathematics correctly. They have looked at the statistics and they know that with or without Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Odinga will still win. They know that even if Kalonzo Musyoka was to support William Ruto, Raila Odinga will still win. And I'm saying that because of this. The issue of Ukambani voters, or other votes, very many people just don't understand it. I always see some people talking of 2 million votes in Ukambani. As much as registered votes might be around that figure, it does not mean that all those 2 million votes will actually go to the ballot to cast their votes. But in this YouTube channel, I've always consistently based my argument on those who will actually go out to cast their votes. In 2017 presidential elections, slightly over 1 million votes were cast in the 3 Ukambani counties. Out of those 1 million votes cast, Raila Odinga had slightly over 800,000 votes, while Uhuru Kenyatta had about 200,000 votes. So we can assume that all those 800,000 votes Raila got in the 3 Ukambani counties, he might have got that simply because of Kalonzo Musyoka. So without Kalonzo Musyoka, we remove that 800,000 votes, we give it maybe to William Ruto. I just want to look at the worst case scenario. We give that 800,000 votes to William Ruto. And if you look at the mountain votes, in 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta got about 4 million votes from all Mount Kenya counties across the country. And if only Raila Odinga can get 30% of that 4 million votes, and then William Ruto walks away with 70% of that mountain votes, and then you add Kalonzo's 800,000 votes, Raila Odinga will still beat that combination of Ruto Kalonzo Mudavadi with about 400,000 votes. I think that's the mathematics Uhuru and Raila Odinga might have considered in snubbing Kalonzo as Raila's deputy. And also if you look at the mountain votes this time around, because there is no candidate from the mountain, a strong candidate, who is contesting for the presidency, turnout definitely will be very, very low on the mountain. And also, if you look at Ukambani votes, now that Kalonzo has also threatened that if he's not Raila's running mate, then he's going to mobilize these people not to cast their vote for the presidential candidates, that also means turnout in Ukambani will also be very, very low. But with all those factors in consideration, I honestly believe that if only Raila can manage 30% of the mountain votes, then William Ruto walks away with 70%. And then you give Kalonzo's votes to William Ruto. Raila Odinga will still win this year's presidential election. That's what most definitely Uhuru and Raila have also considered. And if you look at Kalonzo Musyoka, his body language and his demeanor shows clearly that even if he was to be Raila's running mate and they go on forming the next government, that government will be dysfunctional. It will be a government of squabbles, a government of quarrels, something we witnessed and saw with Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. Kalonzo has been on record clearly stating that he admires how William Ruto actually was behaving and that he was just going to copy William Ruto. So it's almost certain and very clear that if Kalonzo was to be Raila's running mate, then that's going to be a government of squabbles. Kalonzo is going to see that it's him who made Raila Odinga win. So from where I sit, I honestly believe that as much as Kalonzo comes out as the strongest running mate for Raila Odinga, simply because he controls some strong votes behind him, Kalonzo, from his body language in the recent days, actually his body language and demeanor betrays himself actually deputizing Raila Odinga. So on that alone, I don't think Kalonzo Musyoka is Raila's ideal running mate, if at all Raila is to do some good works for Kenyans, assuming he forms government. Because I honestly believe that even if Raila was to pick Kalonzo as his running mate, they go on and win, or rather form the next government. With constant squabbles, I'm seeing Raila Odinga failing miserably. Raila can actually go down in history as the worst president Kenya's ever had. So I honestly believe Raila should pick a candidate, or rather a leader who most definitely will be loyal, and a leader who will not be just thumping that it's him or her who made Raila Odinga win the presidency. And that's why I honestly think that from the current prevailing political situations in Kenya, Martha Karua comes out as the best, if not Martha Karua, Peter Munya, or Peter Kenneth. That's a team that can function as a unit. And also, if you look at that story again by Taifa Leo, they are also insinuating that Uhuru Kenyatta's team are not very much keen on Raila picking Peter Kenneth, simply because Peter Kenneth might be too loyal, yes, to Raila Odinga. And that can actually make Peter Kenneth not to actually address the issues of his people from the mountain. And I also feel that's a little bit also funny, but if that's what maybe Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta have agreed upon, then it's still good for them actually to go with the candidate they feel is the best. But from where I sit, the best candidate for Raila Odinga, in my considered opinion, if that candidate cannot be Kalonzo Musyoka, I prefer Peter Munya or Peter Kenneth. Those comes out to me as the best candidates. But still, even with Karua's ticket, Karua is a no-nonsense kind of a lady. And Karua is seen as very tough when it comes to the fight against corruption. So with William Ruto on the other side, and then with Raila and Karua on this other side, I'm seeing Raila Karua ticket actually attracting some Kenyans who don't want this thing called corruption. It can actually attract such kind of Kenyans into voting for Raila Odinga. And then on the other side of William Ruto, also from some reliable sources, we are meant to believe and understand that already William Ruto is almost settling on Justin Muturi as his deputy. So that ticket, in my considered opinion, is going to be seen as just maintaining the status quo. Kikuyu, Kalenjin, Kalenjin, Kikuyu. So it, in one way or the other, William Ruto ticket, William Ruto and somebody from the mountain is just going to be seen as a continuation of Kikuyu Kalenjin domination against other communities. And that is also going to work against William Ruto's candidature. So from where I sit, I honestly believe that even if Kalonzo Musyoka, William Ruto, and all that team were all to gang up against Raila Odinga, as long as Raila Odinga can only manage 30% of the mountain votes, Raila Odinga will still easily win this year's presidential election. That is something I'm saying with a lot of confidence, without any fear of contradiction at all. And again, from that story again, I honestly believe, ladies and gentlemen, that Martha Karua or even Kalonzo, okay, let me just say, that's a story for another day. That's a story for another day. Let me just stop it for today. In case you've bumped here for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.